Homer's Strangle Gag, How a 1990s Bit Became a 2020s Flashpoint. When The Simpsons launched in 1989, Homer throttling Bart was pure slapstick, an exaggerated nod to old cartoon violence that viewers barely questioned. 3 decades later, public attitudes toward child discipline and on-screen aggression have shifted, making the gag feel jarringly outdated. The show finally winked at the controversy in Season 35's McMansion and Wife. After a firm handshake, Homer quips, "Just kidding, I don't do that anymore. Times have changed."
Oh, just kidding, I don't do that anymore. Times have changed.
Headlines declared the joke officially retired, but showrunner Matt Selman clarified it was only a joke, not a ban. Season 36 doubled down on the ambiguity. An AI-written plot recycled the strangling bit, effectively satirizing the show's own habit of reusing material. The result? Ongoing debate about whether The Simpsons can evolve, or if some DNA-level jokes are impossible to shake. Bart vs. Australia, when a single episode sparked a national complaint. Season 6's Bart vs. Australia, 1995, sends Bart to apologize down under after a prank call. The script piles on cliches: backwater outback, boomerang diplomacy, kangaroos everywhere, and a giant boot to kick Bart's rear. U.S. audiences saw slapstick. Many Australians saw ridicule. Fallout: Fox received hundreds of angry letters, and Australia's parliament formally condemned the episode. Producer Mike Rice later admitted it was written to be very nasty and very inaccurate. Legacy: the show wasn't banned, yet the mock currency, $900 dues, became a meme, and knifey spoony turned into gamer slang. The uproar showed The Simpsons that global reach means global scrutiny, an early warning before even harsher international reactions arrived. 30 Minutes Over Tokyo and Little Big Mom, How The Simpsons Got Banned in Japan, twice. Episode number 1, 1999. In 30 Minutes Over Tokyo, the family parodies Japanese game shows, mocks Hello Kitty factories, and, worst, has Homer toss the Emperor into a bin of dirty sumo thongs. Japanese broadcasters saw it as blatant disrespect for a near-sacred figure, so the installment never aired locally and remains missing on Disney Plus Japan. Episode number 2, 2000. A year later, Little Big Mom showed Bart and Homer faking leprosy with green oatmeal. Japan has a painful history of leprosy stigma and forced quarantines, law repealed only in 1996. Networks pulled this episode too, Why It Matters. These bans underline a limit in global satire. Jokes that disregard deep cultural wounds or attack revered symbols won't be seen as harmless parody abroad. The dual ban proved The Simpsons' worldwide reach comes with worldwide repercussions. Season 13, Episode 15. Blame It on Lisa, 2002, when Brazil threatened to sue. Episode 15, Season 13, Blame It on Lisa, 2002 portrays Rio de Janeiro as a crime-ridden, monkey-infested slum. Airing right after Brazil spent $18 million on a tourism blitz, it landed like a PR haymaker. Immediate fallout. Brazil's tourism board condemned the show and weighed a lawsuit against Fox for damaging the national image. Executive producer James L. Brooks offered a tongue-in-cheek apology, suggesting Homer box Brazil's president on live TV. Brazilian networks banned the episode until a 2012 DVD release. Lasting impact. The writers doubled down in later episodes. The monkey problem is even worse now, proving that a single satirical jab can escalate into real diplomatic tension and shape how an entire country is portrayed on screen. The lawsuit over who owned The Simpsons. Before Springfield was its own show, Homer and family were quick bumpers on The Tracy Ullman Show. Comedian Tracy Ullman's 1987 contract promised her 7.5% of merchandise tied to material that debuted on her program. By 1991, the Yellow family was everywhere. T-shirts, toys, lunchboxes, worth hundreds of millions. Ullman sued Fox, claiming at least $2.5 million more in royalties. Fox's defense: Matt Groening created the characters. Ullman merely hosted the variety show. Court's ruling. Creativity trumps venue. Groening owns the IP, so Ullman gets no extra cut. Why It Matters cemented Groening and Fox as the legal gatekeepers of all Simpsons licensing. Warned producers that a skit can balloon into a billion-dollar brand, so paperwork must account for future success. Banksy's couch gag when The Simpsons mocked its own supply chain. For the 2010 episode Money Bart, producers let guerrilla artist Banksy storyboard the opening couch gag. After the family reaches the sofa, the camera plunges into a dingy underground studio. Child workers trace cells by candlelight, a chained unicorn punches DVD holes. Animal carcasses become plush stuffing. Bones fuel a furnace, spewing Simpsons merchandise. The sequence skewered Fox's real-world outsourcing to low-cost Asian animation houses. South Korean studio ACOM, responsible for much of the show's actual animation, called the gag degrading and inaccurate, while Fox executives reportedly tried to trim the segment but were overruled. By airing the uncensored intro, The Simpsons landed its sharpest self-critique yet, forcing viewers to question whether a satirical exposé means anything if the same production pipeline keeps humming once the joke ends. Weekend at Burnsies. Homer gets high on primetime TV. Season 13, Episode 16, 2002. After crows attack Homer, Dr. Hibbert prescribes medical marijuana.
Talking about medicinal marijuana.
And the show delivers one of network TV's rare pro-cannabis storylines. Homer's new mellow vibe boosts creativity and even earns him a promotion. Yet censors insisted no on-screen smoking. Every puff is implied or stylized. Fox let it air, but UK broadcasters delayed it to post-9 p.m. slots, labeling it unsuitable for kids. Writers aimed to spark a legalization debate, but standards and practices kept the depiction cautious. The episode remains a milestone, a cartoon pushing broadcast taboos while revealing how tightly real-world politics can squeeze animated satire. The Disney Plus cropping controversy. When format killed the joke. When the full Simpsons library hit Disney Plus in November 2019, seasons 1 through 19 were remastered into 16:9 widescreen. The change sounded modern, but simply zoomed and cropped every 4:3 frame, slicing off top and bottom sight gags. Classic punchlines vanished. The scene in Duffless, where all Duff varieties flow from one pipe, or the Seymour Butts balloon during a school carnival, were now off-screen. Fans flooded Twitter with side-by-side screenshots, accusing Disney of erasing the show's visual humor. Within 6 months, the platform added a toggle for the original aspect ratio, restoring the jokes. The incident proved that even a technical tweak can rewrite comedy history, and that every pixel of a 1990s cartoon still matters in 4K streaming land. The problem with Apu, when a fan favorite became a flashpoint for representation. For decades, Apu Nahasapima Petalan, cheerful quick E-Mart owner, rapid-fire catchphrases, 8 kids, stood as The Simpsons' most prominent South Asian character. Voiced by white actor Hank Azaria, Apu was once hailed as rare representation. He even carried nuanced plots about immigration and arranged marriage. Everything shifted in 2017 when comedian Hari Kondabolu released The Problem with Apu, a documentary arguing that the exaggerated accent and convenience store stereotype had fueled real-world bullying of South Asian Americans. Actors, writers, and everyday viewers recounted being mocked with Apu's voice throughout childhood. The show's on-air reply came in 2018. Lisa glanced at the camera and shrugged. Something that started decades ago and was applauded is now politically incorrect. What can you do? The moment felt dismissive, igniting harsher backlash. In 2020, Azaria voluntarily stepped away, stating, "It just didn't feel right anymore." Since then, Apu has appeared only in silent background shots. No new voice actor has been announced. Some fans lament losing a character with genuine depth. Others view the silence as overdue course correction. Either way, Apu's disappearance marks a watershed, proof that a 30-year-old cartoon must constantly reevaluate which jokes age gracefully and which ones turn hurtful over time. Changing voices. When real-world movements recast Springfield. In June 2020, amid Black Lives Matter protests, The Simpsons announced that white actors would no longer voice characters of color. The shift reshaped a cast frozen in place since 1989 Dr. Hibbert, Harry Shearer's Cosby-esque laugh gave way to Kevin Michael Richardson's deeper register, starting with Diary Queen. Carl Carlson and Officer Lou, formerly voiced by Hank Azaria, now played by black actors Alex Desire and Kevin Richardson, respectively. Kumiko, Julio, Bumblebee Man, and others also received identity-matched recasts. Producers framed the move as overdue representation. Matt Groening noted the show always had 5 people doing 100 voices, but times and expectations had changed. Detractors, including Shearer himself, argued acting is inherently playing someone you're not. Meanwhile, rival cartoons, Big Mouth, Family Guy, Central Park, made parallel recast announcements, signaling an industry-wide pivot. The overhaul illustrates how even a 30-year-old sitcom must evolve with cultural currents, re-examining long-accepted norms when audiences demand authenticity over tradition. The Principal and the Pauper, when Skinner stopped being Skinner. Season 9 dropped a bomb. Springfield's stern principal was really Armin Tamzarian, a drifter who stole the identity of the real Seymour Skinner after Vietnam. The town eventually prefers the imposter, exiles the real veteran, and passes a decree never to mention it again. Fans felt betrayed. Nearly a decade of character backstory, Agnes's domineering hold, Skinner's PTSD, his prickly honor code, was retroactively fake. Voice actor Harry Shearer called the twist disrespectful. Matt Groening later admitted he disliked the episode. Writers claimed it was a commentary on rigid identity and meant to be viewed as non-canon, but audiences saw a cheap joke that broke continuity. The backlash marks the moment many viewers say the golden age ended. A single plot twist that showed even a storied cartoon can fracture its own lore by pushing surprise over substance. Maud Flanders' death, shock value, meets salary dispute. Season 11's Alone Again, Natra Diddley, stunned viewers by hurling Maud Flanders off the Speedway grandstand, killing Ned's wife of 10 seasons. On screen, the death felt random. A volley of T-shirts knocks her to the pavement. Off-screen, the motive was mundane. Voice actor Maggie Roswell had asked Fox to cover her Denver to L.A. travel costs. Offered roughly $150 per session, she quit. Writers chose permanent exit over recast. Producers claimed Maud's death would open new storylines for Ned, but fans read it as a cold business fix packaged as drama. Subsequent episodes mined the tragedy for one-off gags, Maud appearing as a ghost or punchline, diluting any emotional payoff and reinforcing the sense that shock had trumped character. The fallout signaled a tonal shift. If a long-standing, good-natured character could be axed in seconds for behind-the-scenes economics, no inhabitant of Springfield was truly safe. The moment cemented the idea that The Simpsons was willing to chase twists, even at the cost of warmth that once defined its heart. Homer in space. The day critics said, "Jump the shark." Deep Space Homer, 1994, rocketed a duff-guzzling everyman into NASA's shuttle purely to boost ratings. Inside the show, and cheekily for Fox itself. Visually inventive, potato chip ballet in zero-G, and laugh-out-loud funny, the episode also signaled a seismic shift. The Simpsons was now willing to abandon Springfield reality for spectacle. Creator Matt Groening worried the premise was too outlandish. Writer-producer David Merkin argued extremes were the point, satirizing institutions that chase public approval at any cost. Fans remained split. Many rank it among the series' all-time best. Others cite it as the first time absurd gags eclipsed grounded storytelling, paving the way for later seasons' wilder, less cohesive plots. Whether masterpiece or warning sign, Homer's cosmic joyride marks the moment. The Simpsons proved it could and would go literally anywhere for a joke. The 9/11 fallout, when an old episode vanished, then tiptoed back. The City of New York vs. Homer Simpson, 1997, is a pre-9/11 love letter to Manhattan. Homer hunts for his car, which Barney abandoned between the Twin Towers. Nearly every gag, cheap crab juice in the plaza, Homer trapped in Tower 1's bathroom, leans on the World Trade Center as a backdrop. After September 11, 2001, the episode disappeared from U.S. syndication. Stations deemed its playful shots of the Twin Towers too painful for a grieving public, and Fox quietly shelved reruns. When it re-entered rotation in 2006, key moments were trimmed. Homer's bathroom misery, lines mocking all the jerks in Tower 1 and close-ups of the skyline were shortened or skipped depending on the market. Streaming finally restored the full cut, but the saga shows how real-world tragedy can reach backward and censor humor that once felt harmless. It's a reminder that even cartoons become historical documents, and that context can turn ordinary sight gags into material too heavy to air, at least for a while. If this breakdown made you rethink a show you once loved, there's more to uncover. We're diving into the stories behind the world's most iconic cartoons. One fall, one triumph, one twist at a time. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one.